Hey, vinyl community. Curtis Young here with Young LP Lovers. Happy New Year's, everyone. Welcome. If you're new to the channel, I appreciate you stopping by. Happy New Year once again. That means it's vinyl tag time. This is my third year now doing the vinyl tag. The first video I ever did was a vinyl tag video. I watched one of Mazzy's videos, and I was very new to my record collecting at that point, and I was just so excited that I wanted to jump on, and it's a great way to get excited about collecting vinyl, right? So been looking forward to doing this year's as well. So big thanks to Rob Walker, who provided the list this year, like he has for the last 2 or 3 years that I've done it as well anyway. So basically, if you're new to it, it's a list of questions. You show some vinyl and answering the questions, and yeah, just have some fun. Check out lots of videos. So I'm gonna get started right away. Number 1, your favorite record purchase. I mentioned this in my year-end video. A few of these I've mentioned. So, but that is my Catch a Fire Zippo cover, Bob Marley and the Wailers, or rather the Wailers. So this was my grail for a long time. It's in really good condition. The rivet here well preserved. It's the Basing Street address on the back, which is cool. Island First UK pressing. So really, really happy to get that this year. That is my best pickup of 2023. Question number 2, last record I bought this year. Well, Christmas shopping. I actually went and traded in a few records for store credit. I picked up my wife a record, so I have that here, the Bodyguard. She's a big Whitney Houston fan, so got her that. Got my niece a Pearl Jam record, and went through the used bins for myself. I picked up a copy of Byron and Lee, and the Dragoneers. They do a lot of kind of like soca stuff in the early career, but this is very much reggae, so late 70s, mid 70s perhaps. Reggae stuff, very good. Classic Michael Jackson's Off the Wall, kind of that transitional period in Michael Jackson's life. And at the same time, I got this one, Lightning Hopkins, the King of the Blues. Yeah, there's one more too, but it's going to be the last record I show. So those were the last records I bought in 2023. Number 3, a band or singer who released 2 or more albums in the same year. First one that jumped to my mind was the one I've already showed, Catch a Fire. That was released in 73, and later on in 73 we had Burn It by the Wailers. These were the final 2 with the trilogy here, yeah? Bob, Bunny, and Peter all together. So yeah, there's a few others I could have went to, but since I had Catch a Fire there, why not? Number 4. If you could only listen to music from one decade, which would you choose? This was actually quite hard. My music's kind of all over the place. Yeah, very, eclectic in nature, I guess. If I could pick the 10 years, yeah, I'd probably go something like 66 to 75, I think. Because there's that like Latin soul stuff in New York in the late 60s that I really dig. There's some Colombian and Peruvian psychedelic cumbia in that time period. You've got all the Beatles stuff, of course, and the British invasion. You've got the psych scene in San Francisco, psychedelic scene. You've got Zamrock coming into Zambia at this point and stuff. So you got lots of cool stuff happening in that little era. So I'd probably pick that, but I don't think I'm allowed to. I don't know. If I'm picking a decade, I would probably have to pick the 70s, although it's going to kill me to have no hip hop. But I think, I've been listening to less and less hip hop, so I'm going to go 70s for this one. You get all the classic rock, your early Fleetwood Macs, you get your Zeppelin, you get Pink Floyd, you get even get a little bit of like Van Halen at the end of the 70s. You get some of the early Clash stuff. You get Blondie, you get all the classic reggae stuff, right? All the golden era of reggae music in the 70s. You get some cool country stuff, you know, the outlaw country and all that kind of stuff. So I think for the diversity of music, I'm going to go with the 70s, although if I can shift it back 10 years, I would. A record or band or singer from Manchester. So I had to look this one up. And John Mayall is from outside of Manchester, a few kilometers outside of Manchester. So I hope that counts. You know, most of the blues stuff I know is sort of the old southern US stuff. And I'm really just kind of getting into the early British stuff. Like, you know, Clapton's always been there, but like beyond that, like, so Paul Butterfield and John Mayall and things, they're really just coming onto my radar in the last couple of years. So absolutely, really enjoyed this record. So a great pickup this year for me. Okay, that's 5, 6. Which band or singer did you listen to the most? It's going to be Bob again. I did like a ranking video. I haven't published it yet, but so I listened to his whole discography. Again, I got a couple box sets of Bob Marley. So it would be Bob Marley and the Wailers for sure. But since I already showed a bit of Bob, and there's some more on the list later on, the other artist I listened to the most is Adam Baldwin. When I did my Spotify Wrapped, it was Adam Baldwin. It was this album that showed up as my most listened to. And that's because I didn't get the album right when it was released. I waited a few months. Concertos and serenades, or serenades and concertos, I'm not sure. I've got it framed because I just really love the aesthetic. I got just 2 frames, so this is in the frame. Okay, so number 7, show 7 inches. So here we have Stevie Wonder's Key of Life, songs in the Key of Life. And that came with a 7-inch. Now, I don't really collect 7-inch, young LP lovers, right? LPs. But I do have a few like this that have come with other albums. I actually bought these separately. So I bought this as a Japanese issue, and then it took me quite a long time to search out the Japanese 7-inch. So that's one. Another one that came with another album, the Black Pumas. At the 7-inch here, and we've got a Beatles cover with Eleanor Rigby there on side A, and side B we have another cover, Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City. I'm not a huge fan of the Eleanor Rigby cover. I think a lot of people like it, but I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. This one I absolutely love. Great cover there. There's a few other covers on this. This is the Deluxe 2 LP set. So I like that one. Let's see what else I got. Value Village find this year. Oh, Canada. I picked this up. Why not, eh? How patriotic. It's got the Canadian, the bilingual, and the English on one side, and then the instrumental, bilingual, and French on the other side. So, and some pictures and stuff that are, you know, the quintessential. Oh, Canada. The people and the nature, yeah. So that was kind of cool. This is a neat one. So this is a Japanese release, golden disc. I've never seen such a fancy sleeve for a 7-inch. A gatefold with lyrics and promotional material inside and an insert. It's I've never seen one so fancy before. So I think it was a promotion. There was a whole, so this is volume 3. So there's 4 tracks on here. What's on here? I don't even remember. Mrs. Robinson, America on A, and B, Hazy Shade of Winter, and Faking It. There you go. Another, the rest are all Japanese, I think. House of the Rising Sun, The Animals. And what I like about this one is that it's Odin, those early Odin ones. You'll find them on the red vinyl, which is kind of cool. I had a Beatles one on the red vinyl as well, rock and roll that I just got rid of recently. So a lot of these I pick up, I was picking up Like I say, I don't buy them very often, but kind of to display in my music room whenever I get a music room. I'm in the corner of my basement right now. Anyway, at some point I'll have a music room, and these will go on the wall. This is Teacher, Teacher. I'm a teacher, so it's kind of fun. 38 Special, not a bad song, not a great song. It's a white label promo as well, so it's kind of cool. And my favorite one, Slapshot, from the soundtrack to Slapshot. If you don't know Slapshot, it's a movie about ice hockey from the 70s. Great film. I don't even know the music on this. What is it? It is Maxine Nightingale, right back where we started from, and Believe in What You Do. I bought this for the cover because it's awesome. And that'll be up in the music room alongside my autographed Wayne Gretzky jersey at some point. That's another good story for another time. All right, so that was 7 inches. Number 8, who's coming to the party? 4 music-related people invited to an imaginary dinner party, past or present. So, I mean, I no brainer. I got to have Bob there. Bob's been at a few dinner parties, but it'd be nice to have and be able to speak back, right? So, Bob would be there. I think I would have Snoop come along. I was trying to think of who in hip hop I could invite. I was thinking Tupac or Biggie, but there's something about Snoop who's just so fun, right? And I think Snoop and Bob would certainly get together smoking a lot, so they'd get on there quite well. Snoop's done a reggae album that was just but you know they'd have something to talk about along that line. My third choice, I'm gonna go with Rick Rubin. Yeah, Rick Rubin, producer. He's produced everyone in the music industry, man. He's been with so many people. Co-founder of Def Jam back in the 80s, early 80s, I guess. Worked with LL Cool J and Public Enemy and Slick Rick. I think Slick Rick. Anyway, all the Def Jam crew. But then he's also worked with Johnny Cash and Metallica and the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and he's worked with everyone, the guys from the Clash, and I just think he'd have some really interesting stories to tell about. And I think he's never done a reggae album, at least that I know of. So it'd be interesting to hear, what he might have to say about reggae. And now my fourth person, a little cheeky here. I saw Chris from Record Talk, and he said he would invite, what's his name? Physicist Friedman? Anyway, and that got me thinking. I would invite, from the production side of things perhaps, Carl Sagan. Yeah? Carl Sagan produced the Voyager Golden Records. These are the records that they put on the Voyager spacecraft back in, I want to say 72, and sent out into space, and they're gold, and they imprinted the music, all kinds of music, from whale songs and bird songs to thunderstorms and traffic and all kinds of stuff, but also popular music, classical, jazz, rock and roll, etc. And they released a box set of that recently, commemorating that, 3 LPs on gold vinyl and whatnot. So, and as a science guy, I would absolutely love to have Carl Sagan at the table. So Carl Sagan was like more of a science educator than anything, but I mean, he was a physicist as well. Now, how well did you get on with Bob and Snoop and Rubin? Not so sure, but it'd be interesting. It would inevitably get to be there. Hey, it's been 50 some years. What's going to go on the new golden record, right? What's going to get removed? What's going to get back on? So I think that could be a fun conversation. It's very much in the spirit of these kinds of lists, right? What would you put on? What would you take off? All right, next question. Someone we lost. So this is the other poster, the other framed album I have in my music closet, actually. Jimmy Buffett. We lost Jimmy Buffett this year. And so this is probably my favorite Jimmy Buffett album. Changes in Latitude, Changes in Attitude. And I just think it goes so nice together with this one. nautical kind of themes here. Yeah, we lost Jimmy Buffett this year. He released an album before he died, so a bit of lots of legacy there. So, Jimmy Buffett gets a hard time, but I think it's fun stuff. So I like Jimmy Buffett. Number 10, you can only listen to music from one country. Which country would you choose? If it was just for the next year, I'd probably pick Jamaica because I'm in, a bit of a reggae phase right now, trying to build up my reggae collection. I've been listening to tons of reggae. But I would miss out on too much other good music. So I think I'm going to go with the US. The hip hop is a big thing, right? I'd still be able to listen to my hip hop. All that great Southern blues, the soul and funk kind of stuff that I really like. All the a lot of the rock and roll and so forth. So I'm gonna go with US. I'm not picking Canada. I'm from Canada. I do like Canadian music. It's just I don't know. I don't think there's necessarily enough of it there to quench my thirst. So I'm going with the US. 3 vinyl community channels you discovered in 2023. So Fat City Vinyl is one that I discovered this year, and it's just a tremendous wealth of knowledge. Every video is like a deep dive, or at least it is for me. It's been really great, very reggae centric. So that's been absolutely great. Retro Musings is a channel I found early in the year. And yeah, she's over in the UK somewhere, and she does, she's just really heartfelt, right? She talks about the music she loves, and that just comes through in her videos, and I just really enjoy her approach to that. And another one I found this year was Music is a Journey, which is he does a lot of CDs, but again, I love learning from channels, and I go on there and I learn so much, right? And so he's over in Japan. I think he's Canadian. Yes, he is. Positive of that. So those are 3, and there were others that I found this year as well. It's hard to remember if they were, this year. I had them in the past, but those are some of the ones that I know I've discovered this year for sure. Number 12, show a record you bought when you were a teenager. I didn't buy any records when I was a teenager. It was CDs when I was a teenager in the 90s. I wasn't into records. I don't even think our record player was working. I still have the record player, but I don't even think it was hooked up when I was a kid. So CDs. So I went back through my CD collection. There's a few there that I remember getting from Columbia House when I was like 13, 14 years old kind of thing. And those are the kind of first records I can remember. CDs, sorry. So Mariah Carey's Unplugged, MTV Unplugged. I still like this. I'd still listen to this. This is her early stuff. Emotions, Someday, Vision of Love, I'll Be There. Yeah, it's still a good track list. This is one I haven't listened to in a decade or more, probably 2 decades. CNC Music Factory. I should give this a spin. Yeah? Things that make you go, yeah, I haven't listened to that in a long time. Another one I know was in that order was Red Hot Chili Peppers. What's it called? Sex Magic. Sugar, Sex Magic. Blood. I can't remember it now. It's escaping me. That was definitely in there. And I'm pretty sure this one was too. Bryan Adams, Waking Up the Neighbors. I'm not 100% sure. I know the other 3 definitely were. This was around the same time, so I'm thinking this was in that order as well. So I don't have any of those on vinyl currently. Next. Show a soul or funk record. I'm going with Latin Soul, the 1960s. I mentioned it earlier, kind of late 60s, out of New York, the Puerto Rican and Cuban influenced Latin jazz, the boogaloo, particularly the boogaloo stuff. I love that. That's on here. You get names like Joe Cuba, Tito Puente, Johnny Colon, Ray Barato, Joe Bataan, Just great stuff. Pete Rodriguez, I like it like that. So, that would be my soul. 14. Show a record that everyone has, and then a record that no one has. Okay, so everyone's got Michael Jackson Thriller, right? And gotta have Michael Jackson Thriller, I think, right? So I think everyone's probably got Michael Jackson Thriller. I'm not sure anyone's gonna have this rhythm and blues comp. This is an Atlantic compilation, and while I don't think anyone has it because I put it onto Discogs about a year ago, and only one other person has it in their collection right now. So there's actually an American version, though. This is the Japanese version. It's a 2-disc set, volume 7 and 8. You can get the US sets in volume 7 and volume 8 separately. But I absolutely love these. So, it covers the periods. So it's kind of chronological in order, and this is kind of the last 2, I believe, in the set. So it covers, let's see, the History of Rhythm and Blues, Volume 7, The Sounds of Soul. So you've got, Otis Redding, Sam and Dave, Percy Sledge, Wilson Pickett. So the real soulful kind of stuff. And then Volume 8 is the Memphis Sound from 67. So we got 65, 66, 67. Yeah, just a great period of soul and rhythm and blues music. So if anyone has that, let me know. Or even if you have the American versions, let me know. She's Great, a record by a female artist I bought in 2023. Mentioned it in my very last video. I'm going to mention her again, Jamila. Jamila, Roots Girl. Fantastic album. I love it. I can't speak highly enough of it. She's fantastic. So Jamaican by birth, Nova Scotian by choice, I guess. She's a huge ambassador for reggae music. She's socially active. She works on Black issues and Indigenous issues. She works with orchestras, doing orchestras. She's got a whole series of lesson plans. So just a fantastic artist and great music. I think we're going to see a lot more of Jamila on the reggae scene in the days and months and years ahead. Number 16, the favorite video you posted on your channel and the favorite video you watched. Well, I think the favorite video I posted, probably maybe 1 or 2. I haven't posted many videos this year. I've been really slack. I think there's like a dozen maybe. A lot of thread entries and a couple contests. But I think maybe there was a thread I entered. I think it was for Jacob. And it was concerts. So I got to kind of relive my top 10 favorite concerts. So that was a lot of fun going down memory lane, thinking about all these concerts. The other one that I did that I like to put a lot of time into and kind of editing and so forth was the Catch a Fire 50th anniversary. So I compared the Jamaican release to the OG that I showed at the beginning. So that was a fun video as well. And I'm not sure a favorite video. There's so many great videos that it's really tough for me to choose. I think of Northern Revolutions. I watch all of Rob's videos, and he's done some really great ones. He had a touching one about his father and so forth. I mean, MGK Boston. I watch all Mike's videos as well. I love his Friday Cheers, just chilling, drinking a beer, talking about music. Great stuff. Some of the bigger channels like Noble Records, Dylan's videos. I love his heavy rotations. Again, it's just tipping me off about great music that I might not otherwise know about. So, I sit there with Amazon open and I'm like Googling these music while I'm watching it. I particularly like the Cheap Heat. Jonathan, Cheerful Records, he's got some great videos. As it should be. It's been very entertaining. I like those videos where they do the ranking of albums. They first did singles and now they're doing albums. They have some great content as well. So I can't choose. There's a few. Number 17. Show me a record you'd describe as a 90s classic. So I'm going to go right to 1990. So it's, it's on the cusp here, but it's an absolute classic. And I haven't showed it yet. Public Enemy, Fear of the Black Planet. Just an absolute classic. This is the Vinyl Me Please version. Yeah, just great album. 911's a joke. Fight the Power on here? I think it is. I can't see the track list. Power to the People's on here. Welcome to the Terror Dome. There you go. Brother's Gonna Work It Out. Some of this is hard to read. Meet the G That Killed Me. So forth. Anyway, yeah. What kind of... Who Stole the Soul? Yeah. Anyway, just a great album with great messages on there as well. We're getting to the end here, folks. I'm 25 minutes already. Wow. 18. I think, yeah, 18. If I could walk into the cover, look through your collection and choose a record cover you'd like to be a part of, I'd like to walk into the Lyceum. Yeah, 70, what's this, 70, 75? Yeah, I'd like to just walk right into the Lyceum. This is probably my favorite live concert from Bob Marley and the Wailers. That really nice spot where he's not hugely popular yet. But, you know, the I3s are there. The Barrett brothers are on the rhythm section. Unfortunately, Peter and Bunny have left the band by this point. But it's 2 nights. This is the two night set. Slightly different track list each night. I'll take either night. Let me walk in either night and see Bob in his prime early on in a small-ish, relatively small club. Brilliant. Like a Greatest Hits, a record that's like a Greatest Hits record. I don't know that a lot of people would agree with me on this, but Norah Jones, Come Away With Me, to me is like a Greatest Hits. I could, every song on here is beautiful. It's amazing. It's one of my favorite albums of all time. So Don't Know Why, 7 Years, Cold Heart, Feeling the Same, Feel the Same Way, sorry, Come Away With Me, Shoot the Moon, Turn on Me. Side B's got Lone Star, I've Got to See You Again, Painter Song, One Flight Down, Nightingale, The Long Day Is Over, and then The Nearness of You. Again, every song I absolutely love. To me, this is like the Greatest Hits. And last but not least, an album turning 50 this year. I'm going with EC, Eric Clapton. Ocean Boulevard, 461 Ocean Boulevard. Yeah, from 1974, turns 50 this year. What can I say? There's Bob Marley link here as well, of course. I Shot the Sheriff. Helped popularize Bob. Yeah, just great album. Yeah, one of my favorite Eric Clapton albums. So that's it. Vinyl Tag 2024. I'll put some links to those channels I mentioned down in the description, including Rob Walker's, where you can see his Vinyl Tag. Again, thanks if you stuck with it for half an hour. It's a long time. But anyway, yeah, much love. Peace in the new year. Out.